Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest announcements coming out of Canada, something that's going to shape the country's future for years to come. Canada has officially revealed its new immigration levels plan, and this update has already started turning heads all over the world. Whether you're a student, a skilled worker, or a family hoping to start a new life in Canada, this news could mean a brand new opportunity waiting just for you. So, stay tuned because we're breaking it all down in a simple and clear way. You want to miss. Now, here's the thing. Canada has long been known as one of the most welcoming countries in the world. It's a place built by immigrants, where diversity is celebrated, and opportunity is open to everyone who's ready to contribute. But in recent years, immigration has become a much bigger conversation, not just about how many people Canada brings in, but how the system works and how it affects the economy, housing, jobs, and communities. That's why this new plan from Prime Minister Mark and his government is such a big deal. It's not just about numbers. It's about setting the tone for what kind of country Canada wants to be over the next decade. So, what exactly did the government announce? The new immigration levels plan outlines how many newcomers Canada expects to welcome in the coming 3 years, what categories they fall under, and how the system will be adjusted to meet the country's changing needs. The plan sets ambitious targets, continuing Canada's commitment to bringing in more than 400,000 new permanent residents each year, with a particular focus on skilled workers, healthcare professionals, and those who can help fill crucial gaps in the economy. Prime Minister Mark emphasized that this plan is about balancing economic growth with sustainable integration, balancing opportunity with housing availability, and balancing the needs of newcomers with those of existing Canadians. In his announcement, the Prime Minister highlighted a simple truth. Canada's future depends on immigration. With one of the world's fastest aging populations and a shrinking birth rate, the country relies on newcomers to keep its workforce strong and its economy growing. Many industries across Canada, from construction and technology to healthcare and agriculture, have been struggling with labor shortages. Employers simply can't find enough workers. The new immigration plan aims to directly target these gaps by prioritizing workers with the right skills, education, and experience. But it's not just about jobs. The government also recognizes that newcomers help build communities. They start businesses, volunteer, innovate, and create connections that make Canada stronger. Prime Minister Mark pointed out that behind every immigration number is a human story, a family seeking safety, a student chasing a dream, a skilled worker hoping to contribute to something bigger. That's what makes this plan more than just policy. It's a vision for what Canada stands for. Under the new plan, Canada will continue to rely heavily on the express entry system, which manages applications for skilled workers. However, some changes are being made to make the process faster and more targeted. For example, the government plans to expand category-based draws, meaning more invitations will go out to workers in key fields such as healthcare, trades, transportation, and STEM. These targeted draws will allow Canada to directly attract people who can address the country's most urgent labor needs. Another major focus in the new immigration plan is family reunification. The government says it wants to make it easier and faster for families to join each other in Canada. This includes faster processing for spousal sponsorships, more digitalization to reduce paperwork, and pilot programs to support dependents arriving sooner. The message is clear. Canada wants to ensure that immigration not only fills jobs, but also strengthens families and communities. International students are also part of this vision. In recent years, Canada has seen a massive rise in the number of international students choosing to study there. They bring global perspectives, cultural diversity, and significant economic contributions. However, this growth has also created challenges, such as pressure on housing and education resources. The new plan acknowledges these realities and aims to better manage student numbers while maintaining pathways for the best and brightest graduates to stay and contribute to the economy. Prime Minister Mark emphasized that students who study, work, and contribute in Canada should have fair opportunities to transition to permanent residence if they meet the standards. Refugee and humanitarian programs remain an important pillar of Canada's immigration system. The plan continues to commit spaces for those fleeing conflict, persecution, and natural disasters. Canada has built a strong reputation for compassion and global leadership in resettling refugees, and this plan promises to maintain that role. The Prime Minister noted that in an increasingly unstable world, Canada's openness to refugees is a reflection of its values: fairness, safety, and humanity. One interesting aspect of this plan is the government's emphasis on regional immigration. Instead of concentrating most newcomers in major cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, the plan encourages migration to smaller provinces and rural communities that desperately need population growth. Programs such as the Provincial Nominee Program and the Atlantic Immigration Program will play an even bigger role. These regional pathways allow provinces to select immigrants who fit their local needs, helping smaller towns revive their economies and prevent population decline. Housing affordability was another major topic addressed in the announcement. The Prime Minister acknowledged that immigration growth must go hand in hand with housing availability and infrastructure. The government is working closely with provinces, municipalities, and the private sector to expand housing supply and ensure communities can absorb population growth. This has been one of the biggest public debates in Canada, whether rising immigration levels contribute to housing shortages. The government insists that with the right planning, immigration can actually help solve these problems by bringing in skilled tradespeople and construction workers who can help build more homes. Critics, of course, have raised questions. Some believe the targets are too high and could add pressure to housing, healthcare, and public services. Others say the numbers should be even higher to meet labor demands. The Prime Minister responded by saying that this plan represents a balanced approach, not just chasing numbers, but ensuring integration and long-term success. He also noted that Canada's immigration system is flexible, meaning adjustments can be made if economic or demographic conditions change. Another important theme in the announcement was modernization. The government plans to invest in digital technology and faster processing systems to reduce backlogs and make immigration more efficient. For years, applicants have complained about long wait times and confusing paperwork. The goal is to simplify the experience and ensure newcomers have clear, transparent access to information. The government also mentioned new language training programs, settlement support, and community integration funding to help immigrants adapt smoothly to Canadian life. In his speech, Prime Minister Mark said something powerful. Immigration is not just about who comes to Canada, but about who we become as a country. He spoke about Canada's identity as a nation built on hope, opportunity, and shared values. He mentioned that every wave of immigration has shaped Canada in a unique way, from European settlers to Asian entrepreneurs to refugees from war-torn nations. Each group brought something valuable that helped define modern Canada. This new immigration plan, he said, is about continuing that story in a thoughtful and sustainable way. The announcement also included a strong focus on economic resilience. The government expects that by 2026, newcomers will make up a record share of Canada's labor force, supporting everything from small businesses to major industries. In sectors like healthcare, where staffing shortages are at crisis levels, internationally trained professionals will play a vital role. Canada is also exploring new credential recognition processes to make it easier for foreign-trained doctors, nurses, and engineers to work in their fields sooner. This could be life-changing for thousands of skilled professionals who have struggled to get their qualifications recognized. Beyond the economic side, the cultural impact of immigration remains just as important. Canada's multiculturalism is one of its greatest strengths. Festivals, languages, cuisines, and traditions from around the world come together in a uniquely Canadian way. The government believes that welcoming diversity isn't just morally righted as socially and economically beneficial. When people from different backgrounds collaborate, innovation flows. Prime Minister Mark highlighted that Canada's success story has always been written by people who dared to dream, move, and build something better. Of course, no plan is perfect, and this new immigration strategy will face challenges. Processing backlogs, housing pressures, and rising living costs are real issues that need ongoing attention. But the tone of the announcement was optimistic. The government is betting that with smart policy, technology, and community collaboration, Canada can continue to grow as a country where newcomers don't just arrive, they thrive. For anyone watching who dreams of moving to Canada, this is a hopeful moment. It signals that the doors remain open, that your skills, education, and ambition are still valued. The message is simple. If you want to build your future in a country that believes in opportunity, equality, and diversity, Canada is ready to welcome you. The next few years will bring new programs, new pilot projects, and new chances to apply, especially for skilled professionals, families, and students who want to make Canada home. So, what does this mean for you? If you're planning to apply through Express Entry, now's the time to keep your profile updated and stay alert for new category-based draws. If you're studying in Canada, make sure you're following the latest policies for post-graduation work permits. And if you're thinking about applying through a provincial program, explore which regions best match your skills. Each pathway has its own opportunities. The key is staying informed and proactive. This announcement shows that Canada isn't slowing down, it's moving forward, and it wants people who are ready to grow with it. Whether you're a healthcare worker, an engineer, an IT specialist, or a student with big dreams, the future might be closer than you think. The government wants to build a nation where immigration remains a driving force of progress, innovation, and unity. As we wrap up today's discussion, one thing is clear. Canada's new immigration levels plan isn't just about bringing in more people. It's about building the next chapter of a country that believes in inclusion and opportunity. Prime Minister Marquet's message was filled with confidence and hope that Canada can remain a global leader in welcoming talent, compassion, and diversity. And as always, it will take everyone from government and businesses to communities and newcomers working together to make it happen. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates, just like this one. We'll keep bringing you the latest news, tips, and insights about immigration, life, and opportunities in Canada. Share this video with someone who's planning to move, because this could be the update they've been waiting for. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay positive, stay motivated, and I'll see you in the next one.